You are watching Imagine Your Goddess.
Feels good. It's a lovely night. Oh yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome back.
Hey everyone, Imagine You Goddess. Diesel here with
FunkDoctor.
the Funk Doctor, and he is going to show us his top 9 deck.
Top 9.
Top 9. Can't beat any
Ninth
better
rows.
than that. Huh?
Nightrose.
Nightrose? Yeah. Let's do it, man.
Okay, so I played 2 starters. I played Peter the Ghosty and Grenache. Grenache is the when he dies from Hollow, unflip 2, and Peter is the counterblast 1, push to soul, mill 2, draw 1.
So, who is the actual Vanguard and who's in deck?
Really depends. Usually Grenache is in the deck. Peter's it really doesn't matter most of the time because they're both going to soul by like turn 1.
Mm-hmm.
And Grenache stays in soul and Peter will go to soul by turn 1. So it's not that big of a deal. But if you're playing in something like hard control, like Link Joker, I think Grenache is a little bit better to have in the soul so you have him available to you as soon as possible.
Options. And in a best of 3, you can switch whichever one's your Vanguard, right?
Yep. That's always nice.
Cool.
But I don't know how I feel about Peter because I built the list based off Japan's list at first because I was just playing Grenache, and I saw all these American lists like the week before playing Peter, and I'm like, I don't know if that's good. So I put it in the night before, actually the day of, just to try it, untested, and I still don't know how I feel about him.
And now you're 9th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like,
Do you think it's Peter's fault or
no, I don't know because every time I use Peter, and it was the same thing when I played 7C's last regionals, he'd always mill heal triggers. Like I swear, every single mill he got 1 heal out.
Okay. So, if you were gonna get rid of Peter, what would you put in his place?
Probably another grade 1.
Okay.
Or another grade 3, probably.
Okay.
Yeah. And triggers. 4 heals.
Oh yeah, 4 heals and a heal
G-Guard
format.
meta.
Great.
Nothing
Let's move. Yeah,
crazy.
Let's get past that.
I play 4 Rough Sea Banshee and 4 Rampage Shade.
I mean, Rough Sea Banshee's still the best crit to ever come out ever.
Yeah, totally. And I think I remember, what was it, Mason on Vanguardian said, you have a grade 1 and 4 Banshees. Do you keep or mill?
Yeah.
And everyone's saying mill, and I'm like, you keep it.
Yeah, I think you keep.
Because it does take cards out of your deck. So if you're trying to draw into your 1, 2, and 3, or 2 and 3, you have a better chance of doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And also having Soul for Gauche is just amazing.
Yeah.
And you're playing Nightrose cards in general, so Rampage Shade is good. Don't need to play vanilla crit, so you don't have to.
Very nice, very nice.
And then we play Formic the Ghosty, which is Hollow. When he's called, GB1, you can give a unit plus 10k, and then when Mick the Ghosty dies, you shuffle him back to deck.
Okay. So just your normal.
Pretty standard Nightrose triggers.
Standard Nightrose fare.
You don't play draws because you don't want to deck out.
Yeah.
Oops. There goes the Mick the Ghosties.
Yeah, don't worry about him.
Yeah, I'll just stay there.
He's a durable sword. Being incorporeal.
Grade 1s, I play set of the Unflipping Perfect Shield because this deck has a lot of counterblasting, and also your front rear guards usually die, and Dismal's a thing, so you don't really need to worry about guarding your rear guards in this deck. So, I think G Perfect Shields are kind of standard now. 4 Stripe Otters, you gotta play them in this format. Also because you need to do Nightrose, because my one problem with this deck is that you pretty much don't have a play before you write a Nightrose. Because only your Perfect Shield, Peter, and Rough Seas have an effect before you write grade 3.
Right.
So you gotta have the Nightrose card. Next I play 4 Negrobone. Negrobone says after you boost a unit, you can counterblast 1, kill it, and then call a hollow card from your drop zone.
Okay.
And he's really important to the deck because Nightrose, it's one of its strongest features is that it finishes games really well.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like about it, is that if you get some kind of advantage on your opponent, you can close it out very, very easily because of all these attacks being off.
Right.
Next, I play one Bale the Ghosty. Bale's a card from set 8 that I think really helped the deck a lot. He says GB1 when he's called from drop zone, he gets plus 2k. So he can become a 9k, so you can call him behind Negro Bone. It's a 16k column. Pretty important sometimes. And then he also says when he dies during the battle phase, you can put him on the bottom of your deck if you have a Nightrose Vanguard and then unflip one. So he's a lot of synergy with this card because you can attack, counter blast one, sack it, call a hollow card, bottom of the deck, he pays for himself. So,
Nice.
if I would drop the Peter, I might go up to 2 of these. Or a 3rd grade 3, that's kind of what I do. For grade 2s, I play Skeleton Cannoneer, which says when he's placed on rear guard circle from drop zone, you can counterblast 1, kill a rear guard, and if he's hollow, you have to draw a card. I think this is the best, not the best card in the deck, but the most useful card in the deck, I found, especially in a big tournament. That's why I max him out.
Yeah, I mean, just hand size, you get it.
You sack something, and also with the Negro Lily combo, he's really important for that.
Mm-hmm.
And he just wins you so many matchups. You know, Sanctuary Guard, Gurgwit, Victor. He's definitely a solid card.
Okay.
And then I play 3 Negro Lazy, a card I don't really want to play 3 of. He says counterblast 1, soul blast 1 when he's placed on regular circle. If you have a Nightrose Vanguard, you can call a grade 2 or less rear guard, I believe, for a card from your drop zone. And then at the end of the turn, when he dies to hollow, you can unflip 1 and then soul charge 1.
So why do you not want to play 3 of these?
I just never really use him, honestly. Because you can use him for Negro Lily combo shenanigans, but ever since I built the deck back in GB208, I just never ever used him as much as I should.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, he still calls something. So if you have a completely empty field and no way to get a field, he's good for that.
Yeah, he saves it.
Yeah.
He saves the game. I used to have that problem with, in the Bermuda deck with, what's her name, Amelia or whatever?
Which was Amelia?
The other girl. She's got, like, resist and she's got a little effect, and it's just like, it's not great, but if you don't run her, you're...
It's a card where I wouldn't feel safe not running him,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't like running him at 3. So
Right.
I might go down to 2. I don't know. We'll see. If I go down to 2 of him, then I'll add to the grade 1 or go to the grade 3.
Right.
This deck is pretty flexible with a couple of slots. Next, I play 3 Negro Rook. This is really the most important card in the deck. He says GB1 when you attack, he gets plus 2k, and if he's hollow, he gets plus 5k. So he's at 16k by himself, which is very, very relevant. So,
Yep, that is usable.
so stuff with like Negro Bone, you sack something, call him, and you not a booster, you got 16k right there.
Right.
Just amazing card. Really why this deck is so good, I think, because this is a multi-attack deck at its base, and without that 16k multiple times a turn, it's not that good.
Yeah.
Next we play Double King Serpent, pretty greedy. King Serpent says when you call him from drop zone, you can soul charge 1, counter charge 1. This deck has a lot of resource issues, you need a lot of soul, need a lot of counter blasts all the time. And also if you call him with the Nightrose skill, the G3 one, then he becomes a 10k, so the AK doesn't become a big of a problem.
Right.
Yeah. And I do play 2 of them because this is really the only card you want to see before you strike. With these types of Nightrose, and you're pointing to.
Right.
Like if you want to see any card in the deck, it's this guy. He's very, very important for setting up combos because in multi-attack deck, Negro Bone's very, very important with that. So if you call this guy off of Nightrose, you just soul charge 1, don't nudge the counter blast, and you got a 17k column. And after you attack with that, then you can sack the King Serpent, call the Negro Rook, and you just got a 20k shield up attacks off of that.
Legit.
1 Pocker, don't want to die like Joker. That's really it. And you do have a lot of tech space in this deck because it is Granblue. So yeah, 1 Pocker. I'm going to play 6 grade 3s. I play 4 Nightrose, which is the namesake of the deck. She says when you ride on top of her, you can counterblast 1, call a card from your drop zone. Usually don't use it that much because it's a way to counterblast, because pretty much every counterblast you have translates to another attack.
Right.
So you don't typically want to use it unless you're in a really, really bad spot. You know, you can strike over her.
Fuel and fire, if you absolutely have nothing else. You
And King Serpent's very, very, very good with this card.
Yeah.
Because it just mitigates the counterblast, so. And then her best effect, I'd say, is once per turn, you can mill 3 when something dies and call it back. That's where all the combat tricks come in and all the shenanigans and stuff like that. So, like, I'll talk about the Negro combo later.
Yeah, let's talk about it after we get through the...
I play 2 Nightstorm. Nightstorm is very similar to Negrobone. It gets more attack soft. He says when you ride him, you can Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, top 5 for a Hollow card. I tend to fail that quite a bit just because I don't play a ton of Hollow cards. I think I play 13 to 15 total. I think. Yeah, something like that. Maybe 18. But the real important part is that he says Hollow. When he attacks and he's hollowed, you can Counterblast 1 at the end of the battle, and you can call a card from drop zone to a separate rear guard circle that is not himself. So, again, simple combo. You got the Negro Bone boost, kill King Serpent, call Negro Rook, 16, attack 11, Counterblast 1, call Negro Rook, 16 again.
Right.
Now I play 6 grade 3 so you can make room for the grade 1 and 2 slots. Because they're very important. Which got me in a lot of trouble at regionals.
Yeah, I'm guessing the main problem was not being able to stride when you needed to.
But I was able to pull a win out of my ass several times. Because this deck has no early game. So what I would do is I just call cards as vanillas. And it's Granblue. They die, they'll come back. And typically they'll have better effects when they come back. So I just rush the hell out of them. People didn't respond very well. I top decked like a grade 3 and strode into it and then hit a crit.
Okay, there you go.
That happened so, like, I think I got grade stuck like 5 or 6 games. And I was still able to win all of them. Except for round 8. I got destroyed.
Yeah.
In round 8 because of that.
And you were not.
Yeah. I play 5 G guards. I just like 5 G guards.
Me too.
1 A-Gleam, 2 Deep Corp Dragon, 2 Negro Lily. A-Gleam is the only... This is the only deck I feel super comfortable playing A-Gleam in. Because it's drop, then draw. If it was draw, then drop, it'd be so much better. I also need a Cray Elemental G-Guard for Pocker. Deep Corpse is really strong. It's the plus 5k mill 2 when you guard with him. So that's very, very relevant. This is Granblue. You might feel your drop zone. And Negro Lily's where all your combos come in. She says when you guard with her, you can counterblast 1, kill a rear guard, and then call a Ghosty from your drop zone to an open rear guard circle, and then she gets plus 10k. But the really relevant thing is that she kills something, so that you can use Nightrose's GB2 to call it back from the drop zone after you sack it. And you get a free Ghosty call, which is usually just going to be the stride fodder. And then for strides, pretty basic. I play 1 Sabreeze. I play Sabreeze in every deck.
Yep.
Standard. I think you should. I think the only deck where you don't have to play where you don't have the room for Sabreeze is probably Neo Nectar and Messiah, just because they've gotten so many powerful strides. I need to play multiple of those. But still, I'd still find a way to get it in there. Yeah. Like what I do in those decks, I just cut down to 4 D guards. Yeah. Usually. I mean,
it's what we said in the Bloom video. If you are the person who doesn't have the Sabreeze in your deck, when your opponent does stay at grade 2, you're just like, well...
I just kind of lose. Yeah. I play 1 Obadiah. Obadiah used to be the best first stride in this deck, but now, when you get the first stride Obadiah, you're usually in a bad spot.
Yeah.
Not usually in a bad spot. Like, I know against Brandon at Locals, I went Obadiah to mill with Skeleton Cannoneer to call it with Nightrose GB2 or just on stride to sack a starter, because that was pretty relevant. Yeah. But he just says search your deck for 3 cards, put them in your drop zone. And if you sack 2, you get to call a Ghosty.
Yep. Obadiah is going to see some play here soon with the Make a Ghosty deck coming out. Be ready for it.
I call him Sackadiah because, like, whenever I'm losing a game really hard, I just go into Obadiah, heal normal units and hope I get a crit. And sometimes it works. It works a lot of times, actually. And if I want Blue Heart is my tech stride. Some people play Bandit Rum, some people play other things. But I like Blue Heart. She says act 1 per turn, counterblast 1. Call 2 cards from your drop zone on occupied rear circles. I actually won a game with her at regional, which was kind of surprising. It was one of those games where it's just not, I was great stuck in it, have a lot to work with. And I still had my cards from the rush. Not hollowed or anything. So I go into Blue Heart and call 2 Negro Rooks over them. And I've got 2 active Negro Rooks and swing 16, 16.
Yeah.
Blue Heart is a lot better than 7 Seas though. I hardly use it in this deck.
Yeah.
Next, I play 4 Nightrose Strides. Part of the multi-attack thing. She says on attack, counterblast 2, unflip a copy of Nightrose, call 2 cards from your drop zone in different rows.
Yeah.
So you gotta call a booster and an attacker.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like to call King Serpent with her. But then you get weird 15k columns and stuff. So, but she's just good for multi-attacks.
Oh, Nightrose Stride, how much you remind me of Olivia. So good though.
Yeah. She's a little bit worse, but at the same time a little bit better.
Yeah.
Because the reason why I say she's better is because Bermudas don't have as many rear guards that are going to get super buffed up there.
Yeah.
Because, like one combo you can do is you can call double make the Ghosty family, and make them give power to each other, and then you get a 28k column.
Yeah, we'll see who's better when the next Somerset drops. That's all I'm gonna say.
We'll see.
It's probably still gonna be.
And then, or the card that I think just absolutely made the deck. That's Gash. Gash says counterblast 1, soul blast 1 when you strike him. I'll flip a copy of Gash, and then you can discard cards from your soul. And for every card discarded from your soul, you call a card from your drop zone, and then every card called with this effect is plus 1k for every face-up G zone unit.
Okay, yeah, I mean,
yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's pretty pertinent.
This card really defined Nightrose to me because the way that I first built it is that I just played relevant cards in grade 1 and grade 2. I was not playing it toolboxy at all. I was just filling it with good cards so you'd have good rides. So then you would just go into Gash and you'd call like a Skeleton Cannoneer, a Grenache, and an Aggro Bone.
Right.
And that just made the deck much, much better, I think. And that's why you do keep the Grenache in the soul usually, because you get to call it out with him.
Right.
And it makes good numbers too. Some like the weirdest numbers come out, like King Serpent's an 8k to 9k now.
Yep.
Like calling a Grenache and a King Serpent makes a 16k column.
Right.
Very relevant card.
No, that's awesome.
And that can be used as a finisher too. If you still have 2 left over and you've gone through most of your G zone.
Yeah.
I've called out some cards and then plus 8k. Definitely good.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. All right, so this Negro Load combo, lay it on me.
Pretty simple. There are 2 you can do. So I'm gonna get all the cards you can do it with. Nothing else is really relevant for this combo. You just need, you need a heal trigger in your hand. Importance. And then 5 damage.
And because you're running King Serpent in this deck, there are ways to plus on the counter charge, right? It's like
there probably is, but it's weird.
Yeah.
So basically, you have Skeleton Cannoneer, Make the Ghosty family, or Negro Lazy on the rear guard circle, and then so you G guard, call Negro Lily. Use your skill to, in this example, we're gonna sack Skeleton Cannoneer. And then she gets plus 10k, and you can call the Ghosty if you have one. I don't have one, so I don't get to call. But then you can use Nightrose GB2 to mill, three flashbacks, to call it back, and then you can counterblast 1, and then kill Skeleton Cannoneer will activate, and you get to kill a card and draw a card. So, you get to draw. So it's a do-it-yourself denial griffin right there.
Right.
And then against decks like the mirror matchup and what's it called? Decks that multi-tech decks, basically. Bermudas, etc. What you want to do instead is sack Negro Lazy, and then one's the skill, obviously, and then mill 3. That's 1 and 3. Call Negro Lazy back. Skill Negro Lazy. Negro Lazy call. like the Ghosty family, keep your Vanguard plus 10k.
Nice.
So those are the two main. I don't think there's really any other tricks you can do with this deck other than that. But those are very, very relevant. That you can have access to that.
Right.
My only problem with the Negrally is that it's very, very telegraphed to your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, I've got this cannoneer in the back row.
Right.
What am I going to do with it?
So,
But you can also bluff with that too,
yeah,
which is helpful. That's the Negrally combo.
that's very cool. Is there another big combo of this deck?
Not really a big combo, but I just want to show off like attack patterns.
Sure.
Because attack patterns are very important.
Yeah, I'd love to.
This is a deck all about.
Well, you get that all set up.
Yeah.
Fun fact, all of the pieces of the Gear Chronicle stuff that's out, you can actually put together a card-by-card slideshow that syncs up with History Maker, the opening from Yuri on Ice. Yep. Glad I could share that fun fact with you guys. I'll enjoy it. Waiting for the video coming soon. Where I'm just throwing cards down while History Maker plays in the background. Don't worry, we're gonna do it on Kazoo because we can't afford the rights. So.
Let's go ahead and go for the Nether Negrobone. If I can find another. There.
Alright.
So I'm trying to get perfect drops in now. With tons of options.
Of course. I mean, it's doable. Variance
Oh yeah.
is in your favor.
Very odd. Like, you just mill so much in this deck
Mm-hmm.
that you're gonna get stuff like this eventually. So, actually, I'd say the purpose of the combo. Let's say this is called out from drop zone, so it's got plus 2k, and everything that can be called is hard.
Okay.
So we got GB1 already. Go on the Nightrose. And this is what I talk about when I say finishing the game. You swing 16 in a battle. Kill. That's it. Call. Negro Rook. Whatever. Why not? That's my go-to call usually. The Elder Ghosty happens out of a deck. On flip. 16. 11 Van into battle. Kind of last one. Call Negro Rook. Swing 16. Swing 31,000 at Vanguard. That goes on flipped. Call. Probably should have had something else on drop zone, but for scenario we're gonna go. Okay. And then these two guys retire. Because you can decide when they trigger. Negro Lazy skill to counterblast 1. Soul blast 1. What do I want to call? Let's see. I like a drill game. In this situation, I'd probably call the. Let's call him over here instead. Call this here. There we go. Oops.
It's fine.
That'd been fun. And then get plus 10k to Negro Lazy. So new drive checks be like 3 crits, I think. Yeah. And then you can swing 25. That triggers. 23,000 at Vanguard. Skill. Sack. Call.
How many attacks was that?
I think that was 7. It was 1, 2, 3. And if I had another Negro Bone and didn't waste a counterblast on Negro Lazy, I think I could have got more attacks off. But
So that many attacks all over 16k. Yeah, that's pretty decent. Pretty decent.
yeah, that's why I like this deck a lot.
Okay, so what are the downsides of this deck?
Downsides of this deck is that it has absolutely no early game.
Okay.
I didn't want to play it at regionals because I was thinking Saint Guard was probably going to be the best deck.
Mm-hmm.
Just because time we've got nerfed, people are saying Nightrose is the best deck. So, if people think Nightrose is going to be the best deck, Sanctuary Guard is going to be the best deck.
Yeah, okay.
So, I was kind of using that train of thought. So I'm just like, and also because people are thinking Nightrose is the best deck, people are going to test against it, take against it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to be that good. But I played it, and people are, I think the format's been slowed down a little bit. People are playing less Sanctuary Guard, less 7 Seas Rush.
Yeah.
More Gurglet and Fenrir and Deep Police. Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which is definitely Nightrose's favorite, because Nightrose just goes off if it can survive every game.
Right.
And you draw right. It doesn't really have any huge weaknesses. You can deck it out too. But that's always a danger of
You gotta
Granblue.
be careful, right? Is this deck looking forward to Rummy Labyrinth?
Yes, I've read everything. I think actually I've read everything. And it's... The new Nightrose is pretty good. I'm going to play 1-2 of her in this. And the new G-Guard's very, very good. Like the new G-Guard.
Yeah, the new G-Guard is
It's a rare one. And I don't think much else is going into this deck because this deck is the way that I'm building it. It's focused on multi-attacks. And that's pretty much it. And not much of the new stuff is more for a techie, like, control items, which isn't what I play.
Price-wise, how does this compare to other Night Roses?
I think this is pretty much the same price as the Night Roses. I don't think there's anything crazy. Like what?
All the base, most of the base is the same. So
Yeah, like I mean the cards went up very recently, but then I think they've been going down. Like, I think the Stride's 30, Gash is like 15. This is like 10 to 15. Perfect Shield is like 10. It's decently cheap for a G deck. I think it's like 250, 300, which is pretty standard. Pretty good deck right now.
right.
I think Negro Lily's gone up to 5 or 10. I don't know the exact prices of the cards.
So, what would you warn people who are going to a big tournament with this deck? What main thing would you tell them?
Keep track of your deck count, and also try to mitigate your lack of early game by rushing. Because not a lot of people know how to deal with rush, and the way you deal with rush is that you rush them back, but you swing at rear guards.
Right.
That's how you counter rush people.
Right.
And no one does that.
I've been winning games through rush since this game first came out. Because
Yeah.
they're just like, what do you mean you're throwing your entire hand out inside of me? That sounds dumb. I'm like, bah. So
Yeah. It's kind of crazy.
yeah.
And also, if you're playing against Nightrose, always check their drop zone.
Yeah.
At regionals, one person checked my drop zone, and I was like, what?
And then you were ninth. It was so one person.
Yeah.
No, that's really cool. And, I like Nightrose. I think that Nightrose is a really fun deck. Like I said, it reminds me a lot of Olivia in fun, positive ways. Definitely stronger, but
Yeah.
So yeah, folks, if you get a chance, try out this deck. Thank you for watching, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Announcing the IYG Stand-Up Series. Experience a new level of competition. Face fighters from across the country. Meet your favorite personalities. Ash, Diesel, Cohellet, let's play card games together. Stand up, Vanguard. Imagine your goddess. And check this out.